Welcome to the world of Agnar and the Malediction. Hey everybody, Movin' and I are back to play another round of Malediction.
New Malediction, new me. Kind of? Yeah, definitely.
We're gonna be playing some Malediction, new game from Loot Studios, and so far we've played a couple of matches, and I am in love with these mechanics.
It's very simple to learn. It's very challenging to master. It's got a lot of depth to it.
In Malediction, you take control of one of four disparate sort of war bands, warring for control of Malediction, the rift in the world when the world exploded. The background is actually quite diverse. Definitely check it out. But in a nutshell, four war bands, nasty spells, husks of the relics of old that you have to go capture. You need to achieve a threshold of points. In doing so, using a warband you build from a deck of cards.
This time, I'm going to take the helm with the Legion of the Fallen. Yeah, undeady goodness with plenty of manipulating your opponents, activations, shenanigans. This is right up my alley. I've been having a lot of fun with Malediction. I'm hoping this deck does what I want it to, and I can bring out all the goodies and the ghoulies and the goblins. It'll be fun.
So I'm playing the Order of the Shattered Throne, and Mubin is playing Legion of the Fallen. That's right, he gets the undead, and I get the cool paladin-like, flying, winged, angelic, amazingly well-sculpted models. Plays completely different than the last warband I played, which was Primal Blood. This is gonna be a really interesting match. I'm really excited to see how this one goes. As we saw in our last game, no spoilers, terrain placement made a big difference in that game. I'm gonna be playing on my actual faction terrain, whereas he's gonna be using the Noxious Flesh Gardens. Very appropriate for an undead warband. I'm playing on the Asterian Pathways. If you're on my terrain, you start with an extra 2 inches to your move characteristic. The game is about reaching a certain level of mastery. Recovering a relic gives you 10 mastery. Killing opponents' models gives you mastery equal to their cost. We start with enough echo, that's your casting points, to be able to bring a lot of stuff in. And it's really gonna come down to who uses the terrain the best, who gets the best rolls, and quite frankly, who gets the best top deck. It's new Malediction, who dis, as I take Shattered Throne into Legion of the Fallen. Let's go, baby! Malediction time! Oh boy!
Back again, JT.
Back to the world of Angra with the realm and remnants of Malediction. As it withdraws and the husks appear, we psych the relics and kill the undead. I mean, battle each other.
The undead will prevail.
It very much feels like the paladins versus the undead. Like this is a really cool, I like this match.
I'm here for it. 2 whole new factions to play against each other.
Yeah. This is the first time I've played this faction. This should be interesting.
Spoiler alert, if you haven't watched the last one already, go watch it. And if you have watched it, I'm back for vengeance.
Spoiler alert.
That's what I said, spoiler alert. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. And if you have, I'm back for vengeance.
You may gain it this day. I guess we gotta roll to see who's gonna drop first.
Yeah, we do.
Oh, 18 again.
And I got a 9 this time. I went up, but not enough.
Means I get to drop the terrain first. Well, this is really interesting. Well, as always in this game size, we use the biggest one first.
You have the golden arch.
I have the golden arches,
Okay.
just off the middle, a little bit farther back. So that's my first drop for terrain.
I think mine's gonna have to go like this.
Yeah, your terrain is spooky. Ooh, it's gonna be a malfunction of the junction, it feels like. So I think we're gonna go just like that.
Well, I want to
Make it awkward for me.
yeah. There we go.
Now to the wee ones.
2 of the little ones.
To the window, to the wall.
The claw.
The claw. He chooses who will stay and who will go. The claw. I don't know. Oh, I might be able to get this back here. There we go. So what's really interesting is setting this up like this, and you could theoretically pick one of these corners.
I absolutely can, which is great.
So that's when it comes down to placing the husks, which you get to place first husk because I get to place first piece of terrain. By placing the terrain like I have, if I put the husks anywhere in the middle, it stops movement. I'm actually gonna place this one right here, just beside this piece of terrain.
For my second one, oh, look at that.
Now before we do anything, before we draw those, we shuffle these up. These are the husks. These are the relics that we're playing over. Once again, I'll draw 2, and you can draw 2. We can determine our fates here. Oh, ooh. Guardian's Aegis and Helm of Wrath. Familiar with those.
Umbral Cloak and Martyr's Vexillium.
Oh, Umbral Cloak, that's so good. Ooh. Umbral Cloak is good.
But we've drawn our 7 cards.
We both start with 25 Echo.
We have no mastery to start, and let's see what our cards have to say. I think that's gonna have to be my bid.
I'm gonna do that.
Ready?
Yep. 1.
I spent a 5.
I got rid of a shield. My great shield is discarded for the rest of the game.
And I spent my Death's Call.
So now you have the choice. You get to pick deployment zone, or you get to decide to go first or second.
I'm actually going to make things a little difficult for you. I'll let you have initiative, but I'm going to take this corner here.
That actually makes a ton of sense. Solely because it's
It forces you to deploy
It's forcing me
there.
to deploy here to go get over here.
Yep.
Yeah, and you're going to be able to start with one fairly easily.
Exactly.
So that means I get to act first. I get to start the summonings. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to spend 8 Echo on a Knight of Stars with the Sacred Prayer Book.
Woo!
And I'm going to put the Knight of Astaris. Knight of Astaris is down. So I'm going to bring in the Herald of Salvation. She cost me 8, and I'm going to bring her in. She has Fly. Such a cool looking model. And that is all I am doing on my first turn.
I'm going to spend 10 Echo right off the bat, going down to 15. And we are going to put down the Thrice Murdered with Feral Gauntlets.
Ooh, the Thrice Murdered.
Thrice Murdered.
That's just such a cool name. It's so angry.
You can start right there. Drop another 9.
Ooh, ooh. Down to 6.
Go down to 6.
Ooh, you're a madman.
And we're going to put down Centinar the Silent.
Ooh, what does Sentinel the Silent do?
He's just very, very quiet. Quiet and murdery.
Quiet and murdery.
He has spell immunity, he has ambush 2, and he has hit and run. For the last one, because why not? Let's just go full whole hog here.
Oh my.
I'm gonna spend another 5, so I have a single Echo left, and we're gonna drop down a Umberland Shade with a Shadow Shroud.
Ooh.
But that is it for my deployments.
So then it's going to be my first move. So I'm going to start by moving my Herald of Salvation.
Woohoo! Fly away.
I can go 16 inches all the way up to here. I'm going to put her here.
You know, that makes a lot of sense.
It kind of does, doesn't it?
Because
The thing
guess
is,
what?
I'm
about to do the same thing. The Thrice Murdered will activate next for a whopping double move of 18
Oh, look at that.
all the way to there. Because also flies.
I'm going to move then the Knight of Astaris. 5 to here, and then I'm going to pray. And that's going to give me one more Echo. And then I'm exhausted.
Centinar isn't actually going to go far. He's just going to replace the
And none of
Thrice
your guys
Murdered.
are clumsy.
No, not a single one of them. You know, I don't need to go too aggressive yet. We're just gonna move to there and stay there for now. But that is it for my activations. So you got first relic.
Yeah, making my Herald of Salvation harder to hurt.
Never a bad idea.
Yeah, considering that I can thrice per activation absorb damage that we dealt to a nearby ally and reducing damage.
It's pretty good. I'm going to pick up with Centinar first. And he's actually going to take the Umbral Cloak. Teleport and flying on a super speedy, stabby, murdery boy? Absolutely. But it replenishes with... Oh, no, I want that! Now the question is, are you going to take it just to deny me? Oh, no, you can't.
I don't have another one.
This is fitting. It goes to the Thrice Murdered of all things.
What is it moving?
I'm taking the Reaper's Edge. So I get Melee Expert 2, which I don't have, so I get an extra 2 damage in melee. Essence Binder 3, which...
Kill a unit, get Echo.
And then non-seeker enemies defeated by this unit just get banished.
What does it get?
It replaces... Oh, Vengeance and Retribution. And that'll put me to 20 Mastery.
That puts me to 10.
Over to round 2.
Over to round 2, you bet. Here we go.
Round 2.
Get 4 Echo. I'm to 14.
I go to 5.
Wow. But you have a way to steal my Echo, so
Yeah, kind of. We are refreshed and ready to go for a second round.
you have the option to try to challenge for initiative.
I do not want to challenge for initiative.
With the minimum amount of cards you have,
Yep.
I don't blame you. And I am going to go down to 8 Echo, and I'm going to bring in my Warfront Commander. So he's all about rallying the troops and making them do stuff. I'm going to put him right here. And I'm done.
Alrighty. I've got no reinforcements.
All right. So then it's over to me.
First activation.
First activation is going to be my Knight Astaris. So the Knight Astaris is going to move. He's going to move his 5. And then he is going to spend 1 activation to pray. Each ally within 6 gives me +1 echo, so I'm going to go up to 10 echo. And then he is exhausted.
Over to me.
Mm-hmm.
We are going to go with the Umberland Shade. I'm going to double move because it gives me a whopping move of 16, and I can fly. We are just going to go all the way over to there. That's the Umberland Shade done. We're exhausted.
So then I think what I will do now is I will activate the Herald of Salvation. Herald of Salvation is going to charge the Umberland Shade.
Yeah, excellent.
Why is that excellent, Mubin?
Just excellent.
Does it do something even though it's exhausted?
No, I just have cards to do shenanigans.
So I am going to charge because I can draw a line to your base and I can fly over any obstacle. And I'm going to attack you.
Stabby, stabby. Out defense for 11.
That's going to be an 8.
Won't do.
But it's still glance for 3.
I have phasing, which is whenever graze is scored against a unit, it prevents the damage. You need to hit me to do the damage.
So she's done.
The thrice murdered is just going to move and start heading towards the middle. You know what? I'll move again and just head up to here.
There you go.
That is the thrice murdered complete.
I am going to start with the Warfront Commander. That's my only one left. I'm going to Battle Cry. It's going to make him move.
Oh, the Warfront Commander is making someone else move.
Yeah, so he Battle Cries, and I can make an ally I own of this unit's rank or lower. Within 6, perform an attack or move. And then he gets to move 6.
And you're going to come contest that.
He's going to move to here.
Interesting.
Which makes everybody better. And look at all the stuff you still have to move.
Only one, but it is a very deadly one.
It is indeed.
Centaur is just going to zip up to that side here. He can fly, but he's also just going to stay outside of that terrain piece because we don't want that. Oh, so what do the kids say these days? We don't want that smoke. But that's it for me.
Well, then that ends turn 2.
That was quick. A quick round 2 as well.
That was a quick round 2 as well.
On to round 3.
Which gives us 6 echo.
2 new cards to draw. Interesting.
We're going to spend 9 echo.
Ooh.
Go down to 7. And we're going to bring in Rogarth the Breaker. We're going to bring Rogarth the Breaker in nearby here. And then I am going to stop right there.
I'm going to spend 7 of my echo.
We'll bring in more stuff.
And we're going to bring in the Soul Whisperer.
He whispers about
We're actually going to get a little risky here.
Oh, you're going to take damage when you activate that.
Yeah, I'll take it.
All right.
That's it for me.
So then it's going to be my start of turn. I am going to attack with my Herald of Salvation into Umberland Shade. I will channel a spell, answer the call, and bring my Twin Blade Skirmisher in to support her. Twin Blade Skirmisher comes in. He says, hey, hey, hey.
Hi, hi.
And I'm going to wail in with the Herald of Salvation. Now, here's the cool part. Warband Commander is within 6, so she's going to get +2 fight. +5 on the dice for my Herald of Salvation. That's going to be a 15.
A 15 will do.
5 damage.
That's a hit. Cool, down to 5. That's not terrible.
And with her second attack,
do it all over again.
Is going to be an 18.
You know what? That's where I'm going to spend 2 of my echo. This is what I was saving it for. And use Disembody. And what it does is when a hit is scored against an ally, I treat that hit as a graze. Now the Shade has a rule where if I get hit with a graze, they take no damage.
That's interesting.
If I do this at the end of the activation, that ally may perform a movement without provoking retaliation. Yay, cards!
That's pretty sneaky.
We are actually going to sneak our way out of there. Whoop. But I believe that was both your attacks?
Herald of Salvation is finished, yep.
Well,
Your action, sir.
You know what, Thrice Murdered? I think it's time for you to do some...
Thrice murdering.
The Thrice Murdered is going to charge...
into my Rogarth the Breaker.
Yes. Before I do that, however, I'm going to spend My last 2 echo going to nothing, and I will use it on Writhing Pain. I get to choose an enemy. During this activation, so during the Thrice Cursed activation, that enemy gains Frailty 2. Whenever this unit is dealt damage, it suffers 2 extra damage.
Ooh, very cool.
And then we charge. Zippity zoop.
Clickety click.
Knife Ghost. Knife Ghost. I only get 1 attack.
Yep,
I only get
but
1
it
swing
could
at
be
this because
big,
it's a
yep.
charge, but it's a big one. Give me that 20. No, that's only an 11. Oof.
So it glances me. So he takes 5?
Yeah, that's not bad.
That's pretty good. I'm actually going to activate the Knight of Astaris now. So he's going to move 7, because that's how far he can move, because of my terrain. And then the Knight of Astaris is going to use his prayer book, and he's going to pray. 4 allies within 6.
And there's no cap on it?
There is a cap of 4.
Oh, there you go.
So 4 more echo for the Knight of Astaris, and the Knight of Astaris moves. So he's now nearby to those 2 models, which is important because he shield walls them. Knight of Astaris is done.
We're going to go with the Soul Whisperer next. The one that's inside.
Takes 3 damage.
Takes 3 damage. That's okay. We're okay with this. It still has 7 left. We are also going to move 6 inches. Just going to scoot up to there, so we're going to stay inside still. That does put at least all of your guys within range. So that was my first activation. For my second activation, I'm going to use Curse.
Oh, interesting.
For each enemy unit within 6 inches, their owner loses 1 echo, up to 3 echo per activation. So you just lose 3 of that echo you just gained.
So I'm down to 2 echo. Curses.
Curses.
Foiled again.
That is it for the Soul Whisperer's activation.
I am going to activate my Warband Commander. I am going to Battle Cry. And I'm going to get Rogarth the Breaker to attack your dude. We are within all the inspiring shenanigan ranges, which makes Rogar is +6 on his attack. 14.
14 hits.
6 damage.
All right, down to 9 on the Thrice Murdered.
That was Warband Commander's first attack. I think I'm going to move my Warband Commander to here. Just going to back him up to stay within range of everybody. And my Warband Commander's finished. I have 2 activations left, sir.
We're going to go with the Umberland Shade. So we're just going to charge for theatrics. Your bird hasn't activated yet, has it?
He is not activated.
And that's what I was really looking for. I get a single attack. Not the greatest, but come on. Ooh, 19 will do. So you take 4 damage, and that will end the Umberland Shade.
I'm going to activate Rogarth the Breaker. I'm going to use my last 2 Echo on Healing Light and heal him for 5. Now he's going to attack the Umberland Shade.
Yep.
So I am +6 on these dice.
Woo.
Gonna be 19.
19 will hit.
6 damage into the Umberland Shade.
Yeah, that'll take the Umberland Shade out.
And how many masteries
You're
you worth?
going to get 5 mastery for that one.
Here's what's even better. Cleave. Whenever this unit defeats a nearby enemy with a melee attack, it may perform a free melee attack.
Ooh.
Into the murder birdie guy.
No, not the
12.
birdie guy. Yeah, that's it.
So that is 6 damage.
Still just barely alive.
Second attack is going to be a 22.
Oh no.
So that's another 6 damage.
I've got nothing to stop that.
Go, Rogarth the Breaker!
It just dies as well.
Oh, wow. So that's a ton of mastery for that guy.
10 more mastery there.
Woo, up to 25.
And that goes back into the relic pile, and I lose 10 mastery.
Rogarth the Breaker, let me see here. Dash, during this model's activation, it may perform a free move. So I think what I'm actually going to do is just back him up to here to be within an inch of the relic. Because if you don't stop me from taking that, I win the game. Which you're going to move him up and stop
Yep,
me.
he just moves, and then I just stop him there. But that ends Centenar's turn, and that also ends my turn.
I have Twin Blade Skirmisher left. I can move him his 8. I can't charge you, but I can still get 1 attack. Accuracy 4. I wanted to get the 3 attacks, but 4 plus 4. So 13.
13 will do.
13 will do, and you'll take 3 damage. End of the round. Whew, what a turn.
That was bloody.
All right, sir.
8 echo each. Got to draw my cards.
Well, that's interesting. And that's interesting.
They get untapped.
Do you wish to seize the initiative, sir?
No, I don't think I will.
So I am going to summon in a unit. The Vicarist Priest to go down to 4 echo. The Vicarist Priest It's going to go right here. And with that, I got all my creatures out this game, and I think that's made a humongous difference.
I am going to spend 6 of my 8 Echo to draw in 2 more guys. We're going to bring in a Disciple of Anushva. He'll come in here. And then have the Deadeye Archer coming back here. That's it for my summons.
I am going to begin then with my Twin Blade Skirmisher.
I'm going to spend my final 2 Echo here on Drown in Oblivion. You must discard a random card from your hand, and if it's a spell card, you also lose 2 Echo.
All right, I'm going to let you do it.
All right.
So there you go, Mubin. Choose the fate. You have a good chance of doing this.
That one. It is a spell.
Oh, you used my Shield of Andravos. So it's discarded,
It gets discarded.
and I lose 2 Echo
and you
because
lose
of it.
2 Echo.
Oh, you fart face. Now all bets are off. It's time. Twin Blade Skirmisher activates, and he is going to onslaught into your Soul Whisper. Onslaught, I get 3 melee attacks. My accuracy goes up by 2 because I'm in range of all the coolness. That means I have accuracy 4. That's a 12.
12 will hit.
That's 3 damage.
That's enough to drop it, but guess what? Persist.
Awesome. Second attack.
Yep.
That's going to be a 23.
Yeah, that'll do it.
That'll kill her. And she's worth 7, isn't she? But temporarily, I have won the game. We have to go to the end step because we don't check until
You don't
then.
just win immediately.
Because I used my Twin Blade Skirmisher, whenever this unit defeats an enemy, I may perform a free move. So I am going to go to here, inch away from the scary dude. Your turn, sir.
Who's got the relics on your side?
Just her.
Just her, huh?
She has 18 health with 13 defense.
We're gonna go with Sustar. He's the only one that's got a chance at maybe keeping me in this game. Yep. We're gonna flip behind here, because he can fly.
We'll try to kill Rogarth the Breaker.
If I get the crit, I'll do it.
If you crit, you could potentially do this. Yep.
This is 10 damage.
That's what you need.
Because 7 won't do it, but 10 will.
Oh, so close.
So close.
7 damage to Rogarth the
It
Breaker.
is 7 damage. Yeah.
So that puts him at 11 taken, but he's still got 5 left. Oh, this is where it gets interesting. I'm going to charge up to here and base this model.
Okay.
So she's still within range of everybody.
And that's into the Disciple.
Our accuracy's 5? 23.
Oh, that'll do.
Oof. 5 damage.
Yep, I'll take it. I'm not going to exhaust him yet because he won't die.
Over to you, sir.
We'll activate the Disciple next. Disciple's going to go for the first activation and take a ranged attack into Hrothgar.
And then I retaliate.
Yeah.
Go!
Ooh, he hits.
He did because of
18
her.
plus 1 still is a 19. I think that's
You
more
hit
than
him.
enough. 3 damage.
He's at 14. And then I retaliate because you shot me in melee. I rolled a 19. So he's going to take 5.
He just dies.
He just dies. So I'm at 35 mastery. Ooh, moving. Well, interesting choices you've left me with. I really don't have anything here that's any good.
I don't have anything to do to stop you anymore.
Pretty much, right?
The writing's on the wall because even with my Deadeye Archer left, I can't do anything to stop you from scoring more mastery.
Because you can't. If you leave, I'm gonna free strike you, and I have
Yep.
so many more models, and I'm literally just gonna pray with one guy and move on to the objective, and then that's gonna be
It's
it.
done.
Right?
Well done, JT.
Oh, dude, what
That
a
was a
game!
game.
That was a hoot. So for those of you at home, the reason that we're not stopping is I'm at 35 mastery and Movement has one last activation to do, and he cannot stop me from either taking this relic. He could, but I have all of these guys to kill that archer with. He would have to leave combat, I would get a free strike, and then I have all of these dudes left. So I have my choice of which relic to take, which gives me 10 at the end of the turn and puts me to 45 mastery. I think we learned a thing. If these guys castle up, you are in trouble.
Yep.
Holy crow.
This is definitely a list I would want to take on with the Conclave of Spheres.
Ooh, interesting.
Being able to just get you out of the bubbles.
See, that's, yeah, the push me, pull you mechanics, which I feel is really interesting. It almost feels like we should do a third game.
But we're not supposed to.
We might, Rabbit, we might. I think we might have to do a live stream of this. Let us know, folks, if you really like Malediction. We think Loot Studios has done a fantastic job with this. From the terrain to the models to the cards are beautiful.
Yeah,
And
the artwork is amazing.
oh, it's gorgeous. But that's Malediction in a nutshell. It is by Loot Studios. It is a fantastic game. The mechanics are great. It's simple, it's fast, it's easy to play. The cards are beautiful. Everything makes the sense. For the price point, it's really hard to beat it.
There's been other games that I've actually spoken highly about for cost of entry and just getting in. I think I found my new favorite to vouch for, because even without the 3D models, you can buy a box, get your buddy to buy a box, and you're good to play.
Thank you again to Loot Studios for sending us the pre-production copy of Malediction and for sponsoring this game. If you like what you saw and are interested in getting into Malediction, it's on GameFound now for a limited time. Use our affiliate link and it helps our channel too. Don't miss out. Until we see you next time, in the world of Malediction, on the planet of Angra and the Vale of Malediction, where the husks are exposed themselves, and all the cool lore that I just have not waded all the way through yet. Oh man, it's just so cool. I can't wait to see when they do more of this. Till we see you next time, folks.
Play on.
on.